What is going on, my flying brothers and sisters? I am the Dragon Lad, and welcome to another episode of Gran Turismo 6. We'll be going through yet another list of cars, equaling 6 cars. Gran Turismo 6 cars. Okay, let's get right down to business. And I forgot to set it up with the first car on my list, so let's get right to it. The first car is the 2000 Camaro, the Camaro SS from the year 2000. Okay, so this car, and believe it or not, in Gran Turismo, or no, don't believe it, or whatever. This is a car that doesn't really run well in Gran Turismo 5. The AIs have such a difficult time with this car. I don't understand why, because this car is very mobile. Around turns, it goes just fine. I mean, it is perfect around turns. Well, it has its fair share of problems. It's a bit heavy. The amount of horsepower on it just doesn't match the weight of the car. If the weight was at 1300, then it would match just fine with the car, and the car would be perfect. But it's not. Top speed of it, I couldn't reach it. There are some cars on this game where it's just hard to reach the top speed unless you upgrade it with everything. And I'm only going, and when I test these cars, I'm only going to keep it stock transmission, stock everything, okay? Because I don't want to get the info wrong. Alright, so, but this car can reach over 180 miles an hour. It can probably reach at least 230, the max. It can, I think, because 180 is right when you just shift into 6th gear. That's how fast this car can go. Alright, so that's car number 1. I guess I would kind of recommend it for racing. I just don't see what the problem of it is. I mean, it is a bit heavy, yeah, but it's still a good car. But it might not be the best at racing. So yeah. Next up is the SRT Charger SRT8 from 2011. Sorry if I'm shouting. Yeah, I'm shouting to death. Okay, so for this car, you'll find that it is pretty much almost 2,000 kilograms. That is heavy. That is really heavy. That is actually heavier than a lot of the luxury cars in this game. And luxury cars are the heaviest cars of the game, except for the Dodge Ram. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, that's a problem that's a huge problem with this car, is that it is extremely heavy. But the amount of horsepower that it has makes up for it, because it can actually run okay. Top speed on this car is about the 210 range. The steering on this is okay, but if you turn too much with this car around turns, you're gonna lose control. And in this car, it is easy to lose control. You will not be able to get a grip on this car. Just saying, all right. So, unless you want to wreck in a race, you do not want to turn this car too much, okay? Around simple turns or anything like that. Around deep turns, it's perfect, but around just slight turns, it's not, okay? So yeah, this is a good car. I always loved the I always loved the Charger. I almost said Challenger. I always loved the Charger. Really, if you were to decrease the weight of this car, you would make it a lot better. The amount of horsepower that it has starting out, I think it's just a fine car the way it is. But if you decrease the weight, that'll probably help it out a lot more. All right, all the way down, past the USA, United Kingdom, Jaguar. Next up is the Jaguar XKR from 2011. Okay. This is a car that is gifted to, I believe, International B class. Or National A. It's either National A or International B. I think it actually might be International B. I'm not sure. This is a pretty good car, but looking at the previous car back, this car is still heavy as crap. This car weighs 1,810 kilograms. That's slightly less heavier than the Charger, but this car, oh my god. Plus the amount of horsepower and the weight on this car are really out of tune. So that's what makes this car kind of stiff. Yeah, that's the problem with this car, is it's kind of stiff, alright? So be careful with this car. Now, what you would have to do is you really want to decrease the weight, okay? I wouldn't recommend increasing horsepower by too much, or you're going to lose control of the car. Because the car is out of tune already, so you might as well just decrease the weight if you want something good out of the car, and then you'll probably be good. You'll probably do good. You'll probably do good things. Top speed on this car reached 231. A lot of these cars can reach higher speeds than what we would know. So, yeah, that's the Jaguar. It's a decent car that they gifted to us. Well, actually, no, it's adequate, because merely adequate, because with this car being so out of tune and everything, it's just, I don't know. I don't really know. And by the way, if you've noticed what the color is, French Racing Blue. Jaguar is British, not French. So keep that in mind, guys. Just keep that in mind. Alright, but I guess I would kind of recommend this for racing, but it wouldn't really do well. Next up is the Dodge Ram 1500 La Rami Hemi Quad Cab. This is one of the most famous vehicles of today. I heavily do not recommend driving this truck in any races possible. Got it? Don't you dare, or you will lose badly. This truck is quite a bit stiff. Like, you will not have a good time getting around turns or anything. The truck is slow. In any racing game, do not get confused by the amount of horsepower it has. Why? Because it is heavy. It has 2,390 kilograms under that metal. That is a heavy vehicle. So yeah, this truck is just way too stiff. I could not reach the top speed of this Ram because it is so slow. But it can go, I think this truck can reach about 180 miles an hour at least. Somewhere around that range. I was only able to reach 152. That's how slow this truck is. Like, it is unbelievable. So I do not recommend this for racing, but if you do, then well, you're kind of screwed, and you really need to rethink about what you're doing. But if you're gonna race it, decrease the weight of it, add a little bit more power, and you'll be good to go. But I cannot assure you anything, okay? The truck is just too slow. Okay, so you guys know how I did the Camaro from the year 2000, correct? Well, I took the liberty of doing both Camaros. The Camaro of the year 2000 and the Camaro of the year 2010. So let's jump a decade. Okay, now I actually have a new category for handling other vehicles. Drift loose. Drift loose means that it is a very good car to drift with. This is one of them. And I found it hard to believe that this was actually a car that you could drift with. It's loose enough to where, but it's loose, but you have control of the vehicle, so that way you can drift with it. How? Because, well, if you look at the horsepower, 427, and then look at the weight, 1,755 kilograms, believe it or not, but with the width and the height, and the weight and the power of this vehicle, plus torque, this car actually goes very, very well. So, yeah. The mass of the car, but the weight and the power, they all go well. If the height and the width and the length weren't as good, or if they were any different, like if the height was like 60 inches or the width was like 80 or like in the lower 70s, or if the length was like 170 or whatever, then this car would be a horrible car to drive. But just the way how it's set up for stock, this car is really good. Like, I would recommend this car for racing. Like, this is that decent of a car. I've always liked the Camaro. You know, it's really upped its cars over the years. So I guess I would recommend this car for racing. So yeah, this car is drift loose. That means it's really good. I couldn't reach the top speed in this car either, but it can go over 190. Probably around at least 210, 220, 230, around that range. But I couldn't get to the top. So yeah, I would recommend this car for racing. Definitely get it. Drift loose. Remember that. If you're gonna enter a drifting event, this is the car. This is the car. Alright. So now we have one more car to go. And this is gonna be a special car. The special car is basically where we get a touring car. We will drive a touring car around the track. Why did I make a special car edition? Because I want to, that's why. What, you got a problem with that? Voice cracks, good God. Sorry if I sound annoying to you guys. I can't really hear myself when I talk normally, so I have to yell. HKS, okay. The HKS Genki Hyper Sylvia for RS2 from 2004. Final car of the video. This car is really good with acceleration. That's the problem. That is seriously the problem. On the turning course, which is, I seriously hate myself whenever I forget things in 10 seconds. On the handling course, I drive on two courses. The Special Stage Route X for top speed, and I forgot which one I do it on turning. But anyways, on the turning course, I was able to reach the top speed with this car. I am not kidding. This car's top speed is 150. Not only that, but this car is stiff as crap. It is as stiff. Probably as stiff as the Dodge Ram. Possibly even stiffer, because I couldn't get around these turns really easily. And the fact that I was able to reach top speed on this turning course, that's a bad sign. So, you know, with its top, it has really good acceleration, but this car has a lot of pros and cons, and a lot of them are cons. Now, I guess I would kind of recommend this car for its really high acceleration, but the one thing that you really want to do, fix the handling and increase the top speed, and you'll have a good car. Just trust me, and plus, it looks stylish. This car would go perfect for Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, just saying. So yeah, stiff handling, 150 miles an hour at top speed. That's really all this car is. Really good acceleration. Horsepower in kilograms, really well matched. 475 horsepower and 1130 kilograms. So that's not bad. And that's gonna be it for today. So, thank you all so much for watching. I will be trying to keep on track with more of these Gran Turismo lists for cars and everything, and such and such. So, I'll see you guys later for more Gran Turismo, or for any other game. I appreciate every view, every like, every comment, and especially every subscription. And you know that button is just sitting there waiting to be clicked on. So, I will see you guys later, and this has been Dragon Lad, burning out.